Alright, I'm going to do a video today on wild edibles. Since Miss Emily won't let me grow the yard up so I can study wild edibles, I guess since I got the GoPro out today and go for a ride, I thought I'd make a quick video. Been wanting to make a video, but I ain't had much time. Been tilling gardens and building chain link fences and stuff, but anyways. So on my quest to be a better woodsman, I've been trying to study this Peterson field guide of edible wild plants. And what I've learned most of all is there's a lot of stuff out there that'll kill you. So you need to be 100% on your identification. And a lot of people will say that you need to see somebody that's an herbalist or somebody that takes you on a tour, see them eat it so you can be 100% on your identification. But my approach is going to be to kind of study through the cycle, because it's really hard to identify anything until it comes into bloom. You can see how many petals it's got and kind of the flower structure and all that. So that's my approach. I'm going to keep a journal of when stuff comes into bloom, what I can identify, what I think I can, what I do identify. And my yard is not a country club type of yard. I don't have nice turf. So a lot of stuff we're going to see today is what they call, I think, a waste ground. Wherever the ground's been disturbed, these kind of weeds and edibles naturally occur first. And it's pretty neat. The book shows a cycle of how open fields and disturbed grounds turn into woodlands, and there's a cycle of everything. But anyway, so we'll get started. Pretty easy one to identify is chickweed. You see right here, I believe this is star chickweed. I got one in the backyard that's blooming somewhere, but it just kind of grows in a mat-like fashion all around, especially close to my house where I've been seeing a lot of it. And then right here we got some wild strawberries is what I think. Like I said, I'm not an expert, so identify it yourself and be sure. I'm not brave enough to eat a salad yet, but wild strawberries, there's two different kinds of those. There's three different kinds of the chickweed. Look right here, here's some mouse ear chickweed. You can tell because it's got the little hairs on it. Coming over here, just so you can see it by itself, here's some wild violet. Here's some flowers in bloom here. And there's the little, I'm not sure what kind of violet it is because it is so clasping, but it's definitely a heart-shaped leaf. And then here we got just your, I'm not sure which kind of plantain it is, but I'm pretty confident it's plantain because you got the vertical stem structure or parallel lines. I think they call this English plantain. Here's another shot of some more violet. And there's the flower. There's a big wild strawberry. Okay, then you got your classic dandelion. All parts of this are edible. All this other stuff, a lot of times you can make a salad out of it. They advise it be young leaves. Good shot of that dandelion. It's a good old street bike. Come over here. It's called gill over the ground or ground ivy. Supposedly it's a good tea. You can make it out of the leaves. It's really neat how it's got that flower structure. How it kind of looks like a little tongue sticking out with a hood on top of it. You can see its leaf structure there. All kinds of dandelion. A lot you can do with dandelions. And I actually ate one the other day when we hiked to Fall Creek Falls. Tastes like honeysuckle to me. I mean, that's just what it tastes like to me. It's really not that bad. I just ate the flower head opened up. You can do all kinds of stuff with it. Now, this is some kind of cress. I'm not 100%. There's like 4 different kinds. I don't really see any with open blooms. You can see it's got these little pods that come up. When they first came in, there was a lot of little matted, looks kind of like chickweed. Looks like that right there. Now, these I haven't been able to identify them, but it's definitely a whorl with 5 leaves on it, and it kind of crawls on the ground. I haven't really been able to find a definitive guide on that. Kind of the whole point of this is I'm just showing you that, I mean, it doesn't take much time. You can go out in your yard, anywhere really, the park, and find all kinds of wild edibles. It's pretty interesting. A lot to it. I thought I saw some wood sorrel somewhere over here. Okay, here's some little wood sorrel. You can see it looks just like a clover, except it's got that notch in it right there. Now I've noticed that it doesn't grow anywhere but shaded areas. Here's a real good indicator of chickweed. It's got 5 petals, but they're notched. And I think the star chickweed, it's got real deep notches. This is mouse chickweed. You can see the hairs on it. My yard's a wreck. Over here by the dog pen, here's some better wood sorrel. You can see the notch in it. There's several other kinds that I haven't been able to identify yet. Let's see if I can find one. There's lots of wild cabbages. Like I said, it's hard to identify it until the central structure comes up. Now that could be well, I'm not an expert, but there's several things that could have a leaf like that as far as what I know now. There's pepper grasses and mustards. Here's a hairy lettuce. You can see the little hairs on it. Oh, here's some, what I'm looking for. These little leaves that have lobes in them. There's some bigger patches somewhere out here, but pretty interesting. I'm not going to be able to let these grow, like I said. Miss Emily don't want the yard growed up, but I think I could go out to the nursery and be able to identify several things, because I believe it'll have a longer growth cycle, maybe 2nd and 3rd year stuff. So there'll be more wild edible videos. There's a dog pen I built, and I'm gonna make a little urban homestead garden. It looks rough right now. Might make it a little bit bigger. But anyways, so that's the wild edibles. There's another book that's the medicinal guide, which is pretty neat. Stuff like birch bark and willow bark. Willow bark's a natural aspirin. It's interesting, all the stuff that our forefathers used to know. I'm looking to see if there's anything else I can show you, but I'm not really seeing anything. Oh, I'm not sure about these. They look like they got little stingers on them because of how the structure is, but I don't know if it's actually a nettle. Maybe we'll find some out at the nursery. Nettles are surprisingly full of protein. I think it's like 40 or 60%, but you gotta boil it before you consume it. Of course, you got your clover, regular old clover. Here's some more of that lobed-leaved stuff. I'm not really seeing anything else, but